It's Patrick at Pals. You know, last week I shot a video on cores for transmissions and engines. And we've had such a great response to that and a lot of questions. I thought we'd try to clear some things up today with Chuck. Chuck, these are all transmission and engine cores.
That is correct.
All right, what's the deal with cores? Why are some remanufactured and some not remanufactured?
Well, when you get a remanufactured engine or transmission, the company who you purchase it from will take the core back so they can remanufacture it for the next person.
Okay.
Some companies, though, don't want the cores. If it's a used engine or a used transmission, they typically don't take the cores back.
All right, so let's take this transmission right here. It's got numbers on the side. Does that mean that it's going to be remanufactured, or does that mean that it's going away?
This particular transmission is just going to go away. We replaced it with a used one, and so that the used company does not want that back.
Okay, and this was probably a used transmission to the customer when we pulled it out of the truck.
As well, it has indicating markings that say that it was probably a used transmission to begin with.
And the reason we know that is these yellow markers. You usually don't see that on a remanufactured or a new unit.
No, that's correct.
They would have this sticker,
but not the yellow markings from the grease pen at the junkyard.
All right.
Now, this is an interesting transmission here.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's actually out of a hybrid Prius.
Now that looks pretty good. That looks like it's been redone. What's the situation with that?
It was a low mileage used transmission. It's actually never been installed. The customer who purchased it changed their mind, I guess, and decided to do something else with the car. So we're getting ready to send it back. Now there's no core on that either, so that one's just going to go away because it was used to begin with. Now you take these engines over here. They're on pallets to go back to be remanufactured because they were replaced with remanufactured engines. So the company will take these back, tear them completely down, hot tank them, put new valves in them, all new inner components, bearings, camshaft lifters, and then they'll make that engine good as new and give you a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it.
So we got a replacement engine from a remanufacture shop for this engine.
That's correct, for both of them, actually.
For both of these. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be sent back to the factory to be redone so that another customer can buy them.
Correct.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why didn't we rebuild them here?
Well, because the amount of cost that's involved in remanufacturing, it would be way too expensive for the customer. Whereas when you're dealing with a company that has a big plant and an assembly line, they're doing these pieces every day on that assembly line, and it's much more cost effective. It's more cost effective for us to get a whole new remanufactured engine or transmission and install in that customer's vehicle than in doing it ourselves. Plus to get a better warranty, because it's not our warranty, it's the remanufacturer's warranty, and typically it's a nationwide warranty.
And also the time factor, right?
Right,
because
correct.
This one is, the one that replaced this engine was on the shelf ready to go. Same thing with this one.
That is correct. It's way down on the time frame.
Way down on time. However, if you've got a 1956 Oldsmobile, like we do out in the yard, or a 57 Thunderbird, that engine, you probably want to make sure that you either get a remanufactured engine or you want to rebuild the engine you've got.
Yeah, they're completely different animals when you're talking about something from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You can send the engine off and have it remanufactured typically, or there are some that will actually do in-house, and it is cost effective because of the age of the vehicle. Now, with the Thunderbird, we are getting him a remanufactured engine that actually, I believe, has like a 10-year warranty on it.
Yes, that's right.
And so, for the customer's sake, having a 10-year warranty on a remanufactured engine, well, that's golden for the customer.
And that's on a classic car, 1957 Thunderbird that's got a what is that, a 312 engine?
It's got a 312 wide block.
Y block. So right. Y blocks haven't been manufactured for 50 years?
At least.
At least 50 years, probably 60 years.
Well,
right?
And that gets to the essence of the core. The core that we're taking out of this car, the core charges $1,600. That's how bad they want that core back in order to remanufacture for the next guy. Because typically core charges are a few $100s, if not, $500. But $1,600 isn't huge, and it's because they want to impress upon you to make sure they get that engine back.
Because there's only so many Y blocks left.
Correct. And we're going to rewire that car completely and also install air conditioning.
But that opposed to the Prius. Okay, Priuses are regular vehicles right now. There's millions of them on the road. This is not as valuable, and it doesn't need to be necessarily remanufactured. It can be
this
discarded.
was a low mileage used one that we picked up for the customer for around $1,000.
Okay. And that's the same story with this vehicle here, or this transmission here that came from a salvage yard. It was a good used unit when it went into the vehicle. Now it's lived its life, and we're going to discard it. It'll be redone into something else. It'll be repurposed. It'll be salvaged. What am I trying to say? It'll be
it's this particular one's just going to go away,
right?
Because they're not going to remanufacture it. But we got a used one for it.
But what I'm saying is, it'll be taken in, disassembled, and melded down.
Correct.
And they'll use the components out of it for something else.
Well, it's aluminum, and aluminum is valuable, so you can repurpose the aluminum at any point in time.
And the same thing with these transmissions. You can see that they're aluminum as well. So if they are scrapped, they'll be melded down and made into something else.
So if you have questions about your core charge, please reach out to PALS. We'll be happy to help you with your questions. Hope to see you soon at PALS.